Hi, everyone. I'm Pastor Mark Sulger, welcoming you to the Message of Hope this morning. Thank you for joining us today and texting us your favorite Bible promises this week. Let's begin today's promise. It's from Virginia in Saharita. She writes, "My favorite promise comes from Psalm 143:8. Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go, for I entrust my life to you." Virginia then shares why this passage meant so much to her, and she wrote, "You might remember that I told a children's story during one of your sermons long ago about a God-shaped hole in my soul. I kept looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for something to fill that huge gaping empty place in my heart. When I did it my way, it always ended up feeling that I was a stupid little mess. I'm so blessed that someone loves me, that Jesus loves me, and his love is unfailing. His love's kept me from going back to that pit. His love is the rock I stand on with both my feet firmly planted. I can still smell the stench of that pit I was redeemed from, and sometimes I feel little bits of that miry clay between my toes. I never want to go back to that pit. I trust him to keep me as far away from that edge as possible. The enemy who lured me there with his lies still calls me names and tries to make me feel guilty. And only Jesus reminds me that my name is not a nasty word. He has it tattooed on the palm of his hands and reminds me every morning that he loves me. Jesus loves me and tells me that I am his child, and that makes me a princess." Virginia, thanks for sharing that from your heart. Really appreciate it. It reminds me of a story in the Bible. In Luke 19:10, it says the main character in the story is described as a wealthy man who was very short. He worked for the enemy of his nation, Rome, as a tax collector, and therefore was despised by his people and cut off from his community. Beginning in verse 3, we read, "He wanted to see Jesus, but because he was a short man, he couldn't see him because of the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. Driven by the desire to see Jesus, he overcame all fear. He put himself directly in the path of God so he could not only see him, but be seen by him. His desire outweighed everything." It reminds me of the biblical promise found in Jeremiah 29:13. "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart." Verse 5 continues, "When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, 'Zacchaeus, come down from there immediately. I'm coming to your house today.' So he came down at once and welcomed him gladly." I like the fact that Jesus recognized him and called him by name. He even invited himself to this man's house and welcomed Jesus gladly. Truly encountering God and feeling accepted, his loneliness immediately left him and his community returned. He is instantly transformed. We see this transformation materialize in verse 8 as we continue to read. "But Zacchaeus stood up and said, 'Lord, Lord, here I am. I give half my possessions to the poor. If I've cheated anybody out of anything, I'll pay them back 4 times that amount.' And Jesus affirms this transformation aloud and says publicly, 'Today, salvation has come to this house because this man too is a son of Abraham, and he came to seek what is lost.'" Feeling a little lost today? Seek his promises. Pray for the desire to seek him out with all your heart and mind and soul, and he'll fulfill that for you. Be blessed. May God bless you today. This is Pastor Mark saying, see you soon.